Okay, let's go to number 11. What happens to the earthquake energy each time the Richter scale magnitude increases by 1? So we already referred to this. It just becomes 10 times because increasing by 1 means 10 to the first power. So the energy, okay, let me go ahead and write this down. The energy released by the earthquake increases 10 folds or 10 times every time the magnitude increases by 1. Okay, again, because the word magnitude does refer to 10 to what power. All right, so next, number 12. Describe what the Alabama paradox is. Now we go to the new chapter, right? Chapter 8, math and politics. And remember what the Alabama paradox is? It has to do with the problem of apportionment, right? And this happened with Hamilton's method, and this happened in 1880 historically. And what happened is Alabama lost a seat, even though the entire Congress, the size increased. Right, so that's what you want to describe here. The Alabama paradox occurs when a state loses a congressional seat, while the overall size of Congress, so the number of seats, increases. And it doesn't, I mean, it's hard to imagine this happens, right? I mean, mathematically, you would think it's impossible, but it does happen, and it did happen. And to the surprise of many people, Hamilton's method, I guess you don't have to write any more than this, but Hamilton's method could produce a paradox, right? And it did happen in the right after the Civil War, or shortly after the Civil War. Number 13, calculate the standard divisor D when 50 lawmakers are to represent 20,000 people. So the population is 20,000 and there are 50 congressional seats or 50 lawmakers. Do you remember what the standard divisor is? It's basically how many people should be represented by each lawmaker. So all you have to do is really 20,000 divided by 50. Divide the population by the number of congressional seats or legislative seats or the number of lawmakers, right? And so this is fairly simple. The answer is going to be 400. Okay, so this is, let's see, divide the population by the number of seats. That's it. Okay. 14, what made Jefferson's method more advantageous for his home state of Virginia? Jefferson's method favors large, more popular states because the method adjusts the divisor. Right, so when the divisor is lowered, maybe I should say always reduces the divisor. And so the standard divisor becomes what is called the modified divisor, right? And so when you divide by a smaller number, the large population numbers tend to increase faster. Okay, I mean, that's just a mathematical fact. I am sure Jefferson was very aware of that. I don't know how many other politicians of the day were aware of that. Jefferson certainly was a student of mathematics, very, very much of a scholar in mathematics, science, and architecture. And I'm certain that he was aware of this, and he used this trick to help his home state gain more seats. What a politician. Okay, number 15, what is the main difference between Jefferson's and Hamilton's method of, so I already referred to this, but Jefferson's method adjusts and again reduces, always lowers the divisor, while Hamilton's method does not. Another difference, Jefferson's method does not use the remainder, the fraction part, the decimal part. I should say remainders because there are multiple states. while Hamilton's method does. Okay, so those are the two main differences. You can have just one of these and it'll be acceptable. Okay, so that is number 15. And in the next section or the next segment, we will start with question number 16.